so here's the first view of our Yaris. Okay, so the backstory on this car is we actually purchased this back in probably, I think, 2019 or early 2020, like before the pandemic happened. And I guess it was 19 because I drove it for quite a while. And the plan with this car was originally to make it into a track car, because obviously there's a big old dent here, and not exactly easy to pop out, but we're going to attempt to do something with that. But like I said, plan on making into a track car, and then the Black Plague hit all over the world, obviously, and kind of just got put on the back burner. And we drive a lot of different cars for my work, and this one just kind of got parked because, yeah, other cars kind of took just were more important to drive, I guess I should say, than having to drive a Yaris every day, which I love this car, and I feel bad that it's in this condition, but with it being a Yaris, I'm not too concerned about bringing it back to life. It is a 5-speed. I don't know. Yeah, it's unlocked. Cool. So it is a 5-speed, and yeah, pretty much the way I left it. There's some stuff in here that hopefully no mice have got in or anything. It's my own lazy fault for not fixing it and cleaning it out before winter and everything, but hey, it is what it is. About the only thing I've done to it is remove the back seats. That was in a previous video. I'll link that down in the description below in case you are interested in seeing how those come out. And then I also modified the column cover and ended up putting an MR2 JDM steering wheel on it that we got from a local JDM place up in Ohio, because it was like really reasonable and really pretty cheap. I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks, and it's leather wrapped and it looks kind of cool. So other than that though, everything's stock on the car. I think the hood is actually popped. If not, I'll have to pop it now. I'll have to pop it. But so the plan with this build is to make it a track car that is basically economical and just not, I want to show people that you don't have to have a ton of money to go racing, and you can go out, have fun, have a cheap little car. You can pick one of these up with a 5-speed, even with the car prices being kind of crazy right now. Probably can find one with high miles for probably anywhere from $2 to $3 grand, and this one is no exception. You'll probably find one with body damage too that, you know, you can probably save some money on, because that doesn't matter. Yeah, other than that, we're gonna pump this tire up over here. It's flat, and I'll probably air that front one up as well. And then we'll take it down, pressure wash it. I'm gonna check the air box and make sure that it is good and clean. Make sure there are no mice, because it looks like some mice have been doing some weight reduction for me by pulling some of the insulation off the firewall, which is pretty annoying. But we'll check in here, make sure that there's no mouse nest in here. We're looking good here. So let a few leaves down in there, nothing major. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start pumping the tire up and try to get this thing started up. Well, we've got it all hooked up. Do you think it's going to start first try?
I mean, it's a Yaris, so it might. Yeah,
that is a pretty good point. So, well, we've got oil. Definitely got oil. I know we got antifreeze and all that, so I checked that before we parked it. But yeah, I guess let's give it a shot and see. Okay guys, so we just had the jump packet hooked up. Got the tire aired up. And this, if it starts, will be the first start in probably 2 years. So we've got dash lights, that's good. Ooh, clutch pedal. There was some tension on that, so you still have brake pressure, so that feels good. All right, so here's the moment of truth. See how long it cranks to start. like a Yaris. Unbelievable. I'm not exaggerating when I say, oh, you can see there's the oil change sticker from 20. So it's been every bit of 2 years. Fired right up. And yeah, so I'm gonna let it run for a minute, try to charge the battery up. So I can definitely tell from just moving it 10 feet, 5 foot, I don't know, something like that. We're going to need a battery for certain, which is a given, because as soon as I turn the wheel, this is electronic steering, and it gets very, very tight. And then you'll see that the gauge cluster is flickering some. I don't know if that'll pick up or not, but it's just the battery's very low. So I'm gonna sit here, let it run, hopefully charge the battery up some enough to where I can drive this thing, take it to the car wash, pressure wash it, and then we'll do a video showing you all the cool stuff that we've got for this car. So we're driving. Brakes definitely have some rust on the rotors. Exhaust is loud. I'm trying to keep it quiet so you can actually hear. Ignore this beeping noise. It's because there's weight in the passenger seat. Now there's not. Let's see. Oh yeah. There's quite a bit of buildup on these rotors, so not the end of the world. That's actually part of some of the things that we're going to be doing to this car. So you'll see here later in the video all the things we have planned. Alright, so here's the walk around. It's definitely not perfect. It's gonna probably take another 1 to 2 washes to get everything off of this thing. There's so much buildup and mold just on the outside from it sitting and mildew. But overall, looks decent. So anywho, we'll go back to the shop and I will show you all of our awesome parts that we've got for this car that we've stocked up basically over 2 years. Alright guys, so we're going to go over pretty much all the parts I have, with the exception of I've got some seat brackets for like a bucket style race seat. I didn't feel like dragging the seat out, and the brackets and everything. Also, I've got an exhaust, kind of on the fence between two. I was able to pick up a 2014 Camry V6 TRD exhaust, like muffler, basically a catback exhaust. It is a dual exhaust. Obviously we would only be running one of the mufflers. I'm not really sure that I want to cut that up for the Yaris. The other one, I have a Jay's Racing turn down exhaust, like a titanium tipped exhaust, and it's pretty cool. It's currently on the Civic that we've got right now, but there is a really good shot that's probably going to be what's going on the Yaris. So anyway, and there's some of this stuff like the brakes. I only brought rotors and pads out. I didn't feel like bringing calipers and everything, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll just start up here. Right off the bat, DC Sports, front strut tower brace. There is the part number. And I think that is probably either discontinued or there's very few left. When I got that, that was back at the very beginning of the the pandemic start, when I was just starting to accumulate parts. And that's, I saw that pop up on Amazon, and it was relatively reasonably priced and actually marked down when I bought it. So I went ahead and snagged that. Next, we've got TRD from Toyota, sway bar, rear sway bar kit. I've heard nothing but good things about that. It's supposed to really stiffen up the rear suspension. Next is this huge box that I just got recently. It's kind of like the last thing I've been waiting on saving up to get. It was just Megan Racing coilovers. I was really between these and 10 or teen, however you want to pronounce it. These, I've had these on, I've got another car, it's Del Sol, you probably saw earlier in the video. Had that all through, you know, multiple years, and had no issues whatsoever. It handled great. So we're going to give those a shot. Heard kind of mixed reviews on just about every coilover that I saw for the Yaris. I didn't want to go with, you know, some of the ones that were like $1,200, $1,400, just because, like I said, with this whole build, I want somebody to look at this and realize that they can do it on a budget. You don't have to go out and spend, you know, thousands upon thousands of dollars to go have fun racing. Realistically, I'd say all this stuff that I've bought is somewhere in the realm of $1,500, somewhere around there. So realistically, with the car and everything, if you went out and bought one for, say, I don't know, $2,500, somewhere around there, you'd have about $4 grand in it total. And that's a really cheap, fun weekend track car. And you might be able to, you know, get this stuff cheaper, just depending on where you look. Like, I'll get to this in a minute, but I ended up finding a header on Facebook that was brand new, never used, and I got it for like next to nothing. So next though is this extremely hard to find. So the Yaris hatchbacks did come with tacks, but they are a hard one to find. So I've got a speedometer with a factory tack. We're gonna try to attempt to switch it out. Obviously it'll all be on video. I'm not trying to defraud anybody on mileage or anything like that. I don't care. This thing's a track car, so it can be marked not actual miles for all I care. But I may be able to switch over. There's supposed to be a chip on the backside of the board that actually stores your mileage, and if I can switch that over to this one, my mileage should carry over to this cluster identical. Like, it will be exactly the same. If not, like I said, I don't care, but it was just incredible when I actually found one of these for a hatchback with a tack. I believe they were more common in 09 and 10, but the downside with the 09 and 10s, they do have ABS, and for track purposes, most of the time you don't want ABS, or you'd want to, you know, disable it, just so you're not fighting a computer, or the computer's not fighting you, telling you what you can and can't do. Next, we've got a throttle body, which is the first time I've opened up, and again, this was back when I got the DC Sports strut bar. This box has been sealed ever since then. I never have opened it. I just took the guy at his word that he sent it to me. 06 Scion TC, probably that's going to be a like 2ZZ motor, or no, I'm lying to you. What is this? I can't remember. 2AZ motor, that's what it is. 2AZ motor, so like similar to a Camry. Basically what we're going to gain from this is it's going to be a bigger bore. It's supposed to be a direct plug up, plug and play. Shouldn't have a whole lot of issues. I saw somebody had a little bit of an idle issue, but we can manage that. It's not the end of the world. Moving on from that, we have a full AEM cold air intake. Again, this has pretty much been sealed since I bought it. It's all down in there. I'm not opening it all up for no reason, but it's got all of our stuff. It's got our part numbers, everything there. Bought that back off Amazon back when, again, when I was kind of picking up some stuff left and right. If I remember right, it was marked down a little bit. You can still get these. Last I checked, they're not too expensive. I'll do my best to put links down in the description below for any of the parts that we use in different videos. Let's see here. We'll skip over to this real quick. This is that header that I was just mentioning before. This was kind of cool. I searched on Facebook Marketplace, not anticipating anybody actually having any parts for a 1NZ, but lo and behold, I think it's Weapon R, if I remember right. Yeah, Weapon R, header, exhaust manifold, whatever you want to call it. We are going to keep the factory cat. I know there's going to be people that are saying, oh God, why would you do that? it's not going to matter with this amount of horsepower. We're really not going to be getting limited all that much. May go to a high flow cat if you can even still get those in this diameter and size and whatnot, but I'm perfectly fine with a factory cat because, like I said, we're not gonna, this thing's not going to be a powerhouse. It's going to be fun, and that's all that I'm going for. It's not, we're not trying to make, you know, 300 horsepower, 400 horsepower with this thing. Ideally, if I can get an additional somewhere in the range of, I don't know, 30 to 40 horsepower out of it, I would be very, very, very happy. So moving on from that, we have, so we're going to be doing a big brake upgrade kit. I'll go over these when we actually do that. They are off of a newer Yaris. You kind of mix and match from like a Yaris and a Corolla. You get a bigger rotor. Obviously, we're going with Hawk pads. And yeah, you get Corolla calipers, if I remember correctly. I'll have to double check. It might be like a Yaris SE caliper. I can't remember. It's been forever since I ordered them. So we'll do those. And then this is just a little shift light thing I picked up like way a long time ago, like before the pandemic ever started. I've had it on the shelf. I figured if I can have a little shift light or something, be kind of neat to wire in. I'm not really that concerned. I bought this back before, actually I didn't buy it, my girlfriend did, for a gift, back before I found that speedometer with the tach. This one here is pretty cool. It plugs into your USB, or not USB, I'm sorry, OBD2 port, and it's got a lot of different readouts and stuff like that. I actually did a video on it before. Again, it will be in the description below if you want to watch that video, or maybe somewhere in this video popping up right now. Pretty cool. Probably not going to use it. Does have a scan tool feature on it to where if you get a check engine code, you can read it. So might keep it just to have. Really no sense in having extra gauges if you don't have to, but it is what it is. These two I saved for last because these are video sponsors for this whole build series, and I really want to thank these guys. Fumoto, I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but I'm pretty sure it's Fumoto. These are awesome. I cannot wait to install this thing. I've been putting it off just because I'm been trying to get all of my parts and everything put together. And this thing is really cool. So it makes oil changes super easy. This will basically replace the drain plug on the oil pan, and then you can just, it'll have this little lever so that when you want to drain it, you just move the lever and it opens the ball valve up and it drains. It does come with a clip as well, so before anybody jumps down my throat and says, oh, that'll fly off or open while you're driving, it's got this clip that holds this in place, and I'm not supposed to have any issues with it. I can't wait to install it. And again, support them. They're supporting me. These things are really reasonable and super fast shipping. When I got this, I mean, like, it was insane how quick it got here. So highly recommend these guys. They will be mentioned in just about quite a few videos going forward. How about that? We'll say just quite a few videos going forward. I don't know how many of the series will actually have. Oh, do have one more thing before I get to this special one. This one is really cool. This is another Facebook find, and I was really happy when I found this because I'd never seen these before. But this is a Tutor, I guess is how it's pronounced, but it's specifically for a 1NZ. It is a intake manifold spacer, so it basically will make our runners a little bit longer. One other thing that I'll probably end up doing along with that is attempting to possibly port a plastic intake manifold. Probably just get an extra one of those. They're pretty cheap, just so we can get a little bit more airflow in. Oh, and these two, while we're on intake side of stuff, these are fuel injectors. These are not the ones I'm going to run. These are just some that I had laying around, but we're probably going to go with 1 ZZ, possibly 2 ZZ injectors. I don't know yet. I need to check the flow rates and everything on them to make sure that they will work, but I'm pretty sure you can run 1NZ injectors no problem. The reason we're doing that, we're adding a lot more air, so therefore you're going to add a lot more, or a decent amount more fuel, so that you're not running lean. Now onto this one. All right, now onto this one. Like I said, this one's really special. This is from the guys at FTG Tuning. The guy's name's Derek that I've been talking to, and super cool dude. Basically, they have figured out a way to raise redline on certain Yarises. So basically what I did, I went ahead and purchased an extra ECU for my car. Made sure that it basically was the identical part number and everything. So here's the part number for my 07. 07, 08 should be pretty similar, if not identical. And anyway, you send this into them and they are able to raise the rev limiter and I believe advanced timing just a little bit to where you're getting a little bit more power out of it. Just be nice to have something above, you know, the 6,500 RPM red line that you typically get with a Yaris. So huge shout out to them. I will put them down in the description below. There is a cost associated with it. However, I think that it will be well worth it for the bumping power, bumping red line, everything else. These motors are pretty well known to be able to take a very good beating. So, you know, I'm not too concerned with it going over factory red line on basically a stock bottom end, stock head type of deal. They're a cheap motor. If one pops, it pops. Who cares? I'm not going out and, you know, trying to pop one, but I really don't think we're going to have any type of issues with this. I mean, factory Honda and Toyota motors have been tuned for years to raise factory red lines, and it's not going to hurt anything. So that being said, that's pretty much all the parts I have. Like I said, other than I've got a couple race seats we'll probably end up putting in. I've got the seat brackets, all that stuff. Other than some like gaskets and stuff, and we'll go over all that on individual videos going forward. So go check out these guys. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a longer video than what I typically do, but I'm really looking forward to this build, and I have been for quite some time, and getting all this stuff out actually has made me really excited for all this. So stay posted. I'll do my best to update you. I'm going to try for a video a week, if not possibly like an extra one here and there throughout the week, but not going to make any promises, but I will do my best to pump them out as quick as I can. So please like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the world if you can. You know, like and share is great. Subscribe means, like, that's awesome. I really do appreciate that. Hit the little bell. And yeah, anyway, I always say good luck on your project, and we'll see plenty of videos coming forward. Thanks so much. Have a great day.